Check out highlights of our exclusive interview with TNA Impact Wrestling star Rob Terry.
Yeah, you know, growing up as a kid, wrestling was one of the biggest influences because when I started watching it, you know, you had the Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, most of the guys then were just so big, and you know, I looked at these guys and thought, this is the way I need to look. That played such a big influence in, you know, the way I trained and the way I aspired to look myself. So when I eventually did my bodybuilding career and a certain company came up to me and offered me a contract, it was just, you know, it was a natural process, and it was just something that I always wanted to do, and it was something that I couldn't do back home either. So I was very blessed to come to the USA to fulfill my dreams, if you like.
So you grew up in the UK?
Yep.
You never got involved in catch wrestling?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, I'm from a place called Wales, and there was one or two schools, and I tried to wrestle there a few times, and the school actually closed down, believe it or not. So I sent off tapes to America. I guess they couldn't probably understand a word that I was saying. I hope you guys can. But,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, and it was almost like a destiny, if you like. You know, I turned professional in natural bodybuilding, and then straight off the bat, I had a company knock on my door and said, hey, we'd like to take you to America, we'd like to train you up as a pro wrestler. And it was like, wow, this is what I want to do, and every single thing that I've done in my life sort of worked up and meant something to that day. So, I mean, what I can say at the time, you know, limited with experience, that I just jumped straight into the FCW. You know, there were guys there who've been in the business for 8 to 10 years, and I can't expect to just walk in the door and, you know. So the main thing was, once that development deal ended, it was my sort of thought of path to continue and not quit, which I didn't, and I carried on going. And then, you know, I'm so proud to be with one of the biggest companies in the world, and I'm the happiest guy in the world to be there, you know, and I'm proud to be a part of TNA.
And how'd you get involved with Team 3D? Were you trained with them prior to signing your WWE deal, developmental deal, or was it after you got into TNA?
No, that was once the FCW development deal had finished. I moved up to training in Orlando, and, you know, I can't stress to anyone who asks me, or anyone who wants to get in the business, that is the best and one of the most perfect schools that you can go to get into the business. Absolutely, yeah, because I mean, Bubba and Devon, the amount of knowledge, experience that they got in the business is, you know, second to none. Plus, it's more of a one-on-one tuition. Do you know what I mean? So everything that I didn't get in any other training schools, they made sure I got that in Team 3D.
So you recommend that somebody, you know, doesn't just go to somewhere where they just have a couple basic moves. You want someone that's been in the business, been a champion.
I mean, I've heard so many stories about people, you know, and they go to these schools and basically they just try and take their money. With Team 3D, it's just pure quality, and you know, they want to make sure that they get rid of you. You know what I mean? They want to push you in the business to make sure you can do the best that you can. And that's exactly what they did with me. And I'll continue to go there to better myself, because, you know, I want to be the best that I can in this industry, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
We're part of British Invasion as Big Rob Terry, the silent bodyguard. How has that transition from being Big Rob Terry to the Freak Show, and a little more personality, being able to show a little more charisma in the ring, and actually being in the ring as opposed to just the ringside? Absolutely.
I mean, it was great. You know, it was great to be with Brutus and Doug Williams. Obviously, you know, Doug Williams, his reputation just precedes him anyway. So he was always one, you know, to give me advice and guide me. And Nick obviously had great charisma. So it was more or less a total package for me to learn from, and I had a great time while I was there. Now that I'm the Freak Rob Terry and I'm on my own, you know, for me it can only lead to bigger and better things. So I was very happy being in the stable of the British Invasion, but now I'm on my own, and I just look forward to the future, achieving everything that I can.
What's next for Rob Terry?
What's next for Rob Terry? Sheer and total domination, you know what I mean? That's all I wanted to do the second that I got into TNA, is to be a champion. I did that, and everything that I got in my sights to the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, I've got my sights on that, and I'm going to go for it.
Absolutely. Well, Rob Terry, I don't doubt you one bit. Best of luck. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.